That's live, so everything. So I got my audio right now. So I'm going to keep it quiet. But yeah, you're good to go.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Well, we can do a little better than that, especially from the graduates. Good morning.
Good morning.
Right. So I'm extremely pleased to be here with you this morning for Gateway to College's 2021 graduation ceremony here on Gateway's campus, which is kind of a big deal, right? I really have missed you guys. I hope you guys have missed us. So it really feels good to have you back on campus. It's not goodbye. Most of you guys are matriculated, which is something I'm very, very proud of. But it's just good to see you all in one space again. So while I'm certain that all the graduates know who I am, given the way we've had to function in the last year, I'm just as certain that there are some family members who don't know who I am. So my name is Eric Morrell. I am the Associate Director of the Gateway to College program. And pretty much I'm ecstatic to be here, just like I just described. I want to acknowledge our esteemed guests today, Dr. Brown, Mayor Justin Illiker, Dean Kaczynski, President of New Haven Promise, Patricia Melton, Ms. Tiffany Jackson from the New Haven Public School District, and Dr. Kelly, part of our student support team, also from the New Haven District. I also want to make mention that the entire GTC team is here in support of you. There are individuals in this room, and they are also in South 211. They are here with you in spirit, and I promised them that I would tell you as much. Like a lot of your family and friends, they're going to be viewing this ceremony through our live stream today. I'm not going to be long right now. I want to be respectful to our esteemed guests and allow you to hear from them. But I also am always committed to taking every opportunity to empower, encourage, and embolden you to maintain your momentum. Life can be challenging. That's not news to any of you guys. But because of the trust and relationship that we've been able to build with you, I'm intimately acquainted with some of the challenges that you have come across. Oftentimes, you don't even have a choice in the matter. Some of us are just born into certain hardships, which can lead to ill-fated decision-making that more often than not makes a bad situation worse. Ironically, the way to position yourself differently also comes with challenges. Challenges that you have proven to yourselves that you can overcome. You wrote the papers, you learned how to solve algebraic equations, and now you have experienced how it feels to accomplish what it is you set out to do. Education in and of itself is challenging, but it's a challenge that you chose this time around. And it comes with rewards. If you will maintain your momentum, continue to utilize the resources around you, and build on the foundation that you have laid, education will begin to change things for the better. It'll change what jobs you qualify for. It'll change your social networks to include the type of people that can propel you towards your goals. Just saying. It'll change the level at which you are able to affect positive change in your communities and in your own lives. It'll change your perspective and enable you to understand more about the world you're trying to traverse. So please continue to embrace this challenge. It's not like the challenges you didn't have a choice in. This one actually pays off in the end. So with that being said, I won't be long. Again, I want to be courteous to our guests and allow you to hear from them. I know they're proud of you. And in the interest of keeping on schedule, it's my honor and privilege to introduce our first speaker. He's an educator and a leader who's certainly no stranger to the challenges therein, a staunch supporter and advocate for the Gateway to College program, community partnerships, students and faculty alike. Please help me or join me in welcoming Dr. William Brown.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Are you sure?
Good morning.
Good morning. I also will not hold you long, and I do want to apologize ahead of time. I have a little bit of an emergency meeting. I will go and tend to that and come right back. But I did not want to miss the opportunity to, first of all, welcome you to Gateway Community College, or in some ways welcome you back. We've said this at a number of our commencements and celebrations of our students, but you all will go down in history as the most resilient and resourceful of our completing classes, because you have finished what you set out to do in the middle of a global pandemic. It required all of us, but especially you, our students, to do everything differently. The things that you knew before or knew how to do before, some of them did not apply. Challenges that you had became even tougher because of what we all had to deal with, but particularly you all in the middle of your course of study. And so I want to congratulate all of you. And I want to offer not only my congratulations, but also express to you my admiration. You know, we say this, you know, that the generation today is facing things that, you know, we didn't have to face. So that's actually true this time. And so I stand up here with pride and admiration for you and all of your success. So let me just leave you with a couple of things. Like I said, I'll leave and then I'll come back as soon as I'm possibly able to. When I think about success and what's required, and given what you all have already done, this hopefully will sound familiar or ring true in a way, but I just want to bring it together in 4 or 5 words that begin with the letter C. In order to achieve success, the first C is that you have to make a choice. When you decide, this is the first step, that you want to be successful, when you engage that vision and make that choice that you're going to be successful, that's the first step. No one ever did anything or had any success if they did not decide to do so. The second C, and I think it was already alluded to, is that of challenge. If everything comes easy, that is not success. You can't have true success without challenge. So when things get tough, and they have, and they will, when you don't exactly know the way forward, because sometimes you won't. We'll get to that a little bit later when I get to my last C. But you've got to experience the challenge in order to build the strength that's necessary to bring you to the third C, and that's commitment. If you will commit to what it is that you're doing, you have a plan, you commit to the plan. You decide, you choose that you are going to see it through. Commitment is the thing that takes you from where you are to where you're going to be. And then, after you have committed, brings me to the fourth C, and that's of, I'm not there yet. That's like, now you just added another one. I was going to do 5, but now I'm going to have to do 6. That's courage. Some days, in order to pursue your dream, to accomplish your goal, you may have to walk alone. Sometimes you will have to face the unknown. How many of you, when you started Gateway to College, knew, actually, let me say it the right way. How many of you, before you started Gateway to College, knew that you were going to complete college credits before you graduated high school? A couple of you did. Many of you didn't. The unknown is out there. And sometimes you will have to face the unknown, and that requires courage. So you take that choice, you take that challenge, you bring your courage, and you make that commitment. And then after that, you need community. No one ever did anything that was truly important on their own. So that's two things. Make sure to thank the people around you who supported you. We're talking about your educators. We're talking about members in the community. Maybe you go to a place of worship. I don't know about you all, but in my church, we were always being encouraged to go further and to do more. And there was a community that surrounded us. But also your personal community, your family, your friends, your loved ones, the ones that listened to your assignments, the ones that checked up on you, the ones that worked and helped to pay for the things so that you could go ahead and do your schooling. Make sure to thank them. That was going to be my fifth C, but I'll go ahead and throw in complete. I wasn't going to be here that long, but someone added something there. Make sure that whatever you set out to do, you finish what you started. It's okay if you change the plan. I'm not saying that you have to stay stuck in something. If something comes along, an opportunity, whatever, that's fine. You can change the plan. But when you set out to do something, finish it. Because then that becomes the springboard for your next level of success. I am so proud. I am so proud to be at this college. I am so proud for moments like this. You all are the embodiment of my hopes and goals and dreams that what we do will make a difference. So as you're graduating today, do your thing. Enjoy doing your thing. But make sure that you reach out, help somebody else, and let them, enable them to be successful just like you are today. Congratulations, we're proud of you. Keep on going and finish it all up.
Thank you, Dr. Brown. Okay, coming to the stage next. No, I'm just kidding. Hopefully you all are aware of who our next speaker is. He's the mayor of our wonderful city here. Also another staunch supporter of the Gateway to College program and advocate for community partnerships. Please join me in welcoming Mayor Justin Elliott.
Thank you, Dr. Morrell. It's Dr. right? I wish. I'm going to add another C, and that's celebrate. Are we in a graduation here? You got to hear some noise in this room because there's some noise on your hats. I'm looking over at the pink hats here. It is clear that folks in this room recognize that this is a celebration of the work that you all have done and the work your families have done to get you across the finish line. I got two baby girls of my own, 2 and 6 years old. I can't even imagine them being at your age, but when they're there, the pride I'm going to feel in my babies is something I can imagine your families are feeling today. This is an exciting day for us, and it's an exciting day, of course, because of the work that you put in, but also looking around the room to think about so many people that made this possible. And we have a lot of good team members here. I see Tiffany Jackson and Dr. Tracy was not able to make it because she's got like a bunch of other graduations today, but the Board of Education and New Haven Public Schools and your team. Patricia Melton is one of the most inspiring and hardworking figures that I know with New Haven Promise, who has set a pathway forward for many individuals, including you all, to finish your college career. Alder Douglas, I saw Alder Douglas over there. Where'd he go? There he is. And his grandson is graduating. And of course, our partnership with Gateway. And Dr. Brown, I know you had to step out, Dean Kaczynski, and Mr. Morrell, Dr. Morrell, if I may promote you today. Your partnership with the City of New Haven, the work that you all are doing in collaboration with us goes beyond this program, as you know. We are working to connect young people with the jobs in the future. right? And just last week, we were at the groundbreaking of 101 College Street, which is going to be this big building over where all that construction is on Route 34. And a lot of people say this ground building, what does this big high-rise have to do with us? But there's a room in that building that's a classroom for New Haven Public School students in partnership with Gateway and Southern to connect young people with health sector jobs. Those are jobs that are growing today. And as I was talking with you all in the hallway, I was hearing other examples. Someone's thinking about working at Amazon, someone's looking at working in real estate, someone's thinking about working with a small family business that their grandfather is running. And a good number of folks are looking to move into college, go on to college, whether it's Gateway's automotive sector or many other sectors. This is an opportunity for you all. You've shown that you can get to this point, to blossom into this future where you're able to not only live a life where you can have a productive salary and help support the family members around you, but celebrate, right? Celebrate. And I would just underscore just what that means, because someone gave me some statistics of your class. The percentage of students who've been working during your class here is 32%. So a lot of students are working while you're trying to get your degree, right? That's not easy. That's not easy to do. The students that are first generation college students, 72% are looking to go to college. That is amazing. That is amazing. And 66% of students are eligible for free and reduced lunch. You know what that's code for? That's code for you all have experienced and confronted and overcome challenge. All right, we heard challenge earlier on. You all know challenge, right? And you've been able to overcome it. And there's an expression in Chinese. It's called Goji Tiaoqiang. And it's kind of a weird expression. In Chinese, they have a lot of these kind of peculiar expressions that have a lot of history. And this one, it means a dog that's backed up against the wall can jump over a really tall wall that you didn't think that dog could jump over. So what does it mean? It means that when you feel cornered, when you feel all the pressure of the world on you, you actually can do amazing things and you can jump over that wall, right? You all have experienced challenges in your life. This year has been a challenge. We all can say that in this room, right? This year has been a challenge. And you have shown that you can overcome that challenge. Just imagine what you can do down the road. Just imagine what you can do down the road. If you set your mind to it, if you have that confidence, it's a lot of seeds, right? And I want to finish with this. I was shaking hands with folks in the hall. And there was a little bit, and I was your age. I'm 45 now, a long time ago. And I was kind of too cool for school. Celebrate your life. Celebrate your family. Celebrate your victories. Don't be afraid to smile. Don't be afraid to enjoy this day, like those hats indicate that you're enjoying this day. And celebrate all the opportunities that are ahead of you. This is a great day, and there are so many great days ahead of you, because of the work that you and your family have done to get you all here. So thank you, and congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor Kelly. So, as was just mentioned, Dr. Tracy was unable to make it today. I'm certain she's torn in many different directions so far as wanting to be in many different places, and we know that's not possible. But she does think highly enough of you guys that she sent one of her generals, as I know her. Miss Tiffany Jackson, please come to the stage.
I don't know about a general, but certainly here, and honored to be here on your behalf. Congratulations, graduates. If we can give them another round of applause. Again, on behalf of Dr. Eileen Tracy, who is the superintendent of New Haven Public Schools, who could not be here today, we are so proud and honored that you guys are here today. We're so grateful for our partnership that we have with Gateway College. Thank you for our Gateway staff. Thank you, parents and guardians, for helping our students to get across that finish line. Again, the theme of the day, people are talking about the fact that we're resilient. In spite of all the challenges, in spite of the pandemic, we made it. You guys have made it. So again, as you notice that you guys have made it through a pandemic, through some challenges, life has whatever it is that you want in your hands. You can do whatever it is that you want in life. And again, guys, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for thinking enough of Gateway to continue and be here towards the end, to the finish line. And congratulations, we are so proud of you. Thank you, and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of the graduation ceremony. Thank you, everybody.
I don't care what Tiffany says, she's a general. I've seen her action. No games whatsoever. No. So moving the ceremony right along, the next speaker that's going to approach the podium is my direct supervisor. He's an individual who has always been supportive of this program as a whole, of me as a leader and what I needed to extend to my staff and to my students and what you need. He really has been instrumental in propelling this program forward and helping us to maintain our momentum. So please join me in welcoming Gateway Community College Dean of Academics, Dr. Mark Kaczynski.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Morrell, for your inspiring words. I don't know what to say, really, this year to people, because it's been such an extraordinary year, but I do have some very specific things to say to this group, because I've thought a lot about what you've done. You've done something not just special, you've done something extraordinary. Now, most people don't know, when we shut down, when we locked down, we only kept this college open for a couple of programs. You guys were one of those programs.
Yes.
Allied Health and Nursing were the other. So, I'm going to tell a very short story. I was on the telephone with an old friend that I grew up with years ago. He lives in a little town called Marcus Hook, Pennsylvania. Southeast Pennsylvania. It's out in the middle of nowhere. 2,300 people. There's a petroleum chemical plant that is the main employer in this town. Now, do you remember a year ago when the country had the crisis over these things, masks and safety equipment, things like this? You remember when we didn't have enough of that? Well, Marcus Hook, this petrochemical plant, produces a substance called polypropylene, which is the raw materials for masks, for the N95 masks. And this friend of mine on the phone said to me, let me tell you what happened here in town about a year ago. 46 people at this plant volunteered to work 24 hours a day for 28 straight days.
Wow.
They converted a kitchenette, a little office kitchenette, into a mess hall. They brought air mattresses. The men brought shaving kits. And they worked in 12-hour shifts, 28 straight days. They produced 40 million tons of polypropylene, enough to make 500 million N95 masks. I'd never heard anything like that. He said to me, these 46 workers are our heroes. And I said, guess what? I'd like them to meet our heroes here at Gateway. I'd like them to meet our students in the Gateway College program, because they've done something as extraordinary. They came to this campus at a time when it was difficult. They came to this campus to stay with their studies, to not lose their perspective and not lose their momentum. That's extraordinary. And I want to congratulate you today for what you've done. Now, you're the only group next to our nurses and some of our allied health students. And you know what our nurses were doing? Our nursing students were out in the hospitals working with patients. They are extraordinary too, but you're just as extraordinary in mine. So congratulations to you, your families, You couldn't have done this alone. You had families with you. Every day you were here. The staff of Gateway to College, Eric and his crew, his team, the folks from New Haven, what an extraordinary group. So I said to my friend on the phone, listen, you may have heroes down there in Southeast Pennsylvania, but we got heroes right here in New Haven, right here at Gateway Community College. What I want to say to you is stay in touch. I expect to see all of your faces, by the way, this fall, because my expectation is that you'll continue here. And if you can't continue in the fall, let me know if I can help you beyond that. It may not be the time, but for many of you it is. You've already overcome the most extraordinary circumstances. It should be all downhill from here, but you've got to stay with it. So again, thank you for letting me be here, and thank you again for your support. New Haven Public Schools, the community, the mayor's office, but thank you especially to you guys, you and your families. Extraordinary.
Thank you, Dean Kaczynski. So this is actually, I enjoy this entire event. If I'm being honest, I enjoy it way more after it's over than I do while it's going on. Just because for me, it's a lot of pressure. I want things to go well. And maybe one day you'll understand. But this is a particular part of the program that I was really looking forward to. Hey, Kermit, let me acknowledge Kermit Carolina sitting in the back of the room. This is a particular part of the ceremony that I was looking forward to. The next voice you'll hear after mine will be that of Dr. Pamela Kelly, who is part of our student support staff. She works very closely with our students to be certain that they can be successful. She's constantly advocating, visiting instructors, finding out what assignments are due, and harassing students at home, no matter what hour of the day it is. She's coming to the stage to introduce someone that I hold in very, very high regard. He's a phenomenal young man. We decided to go with a student speaker this graduating class. He's been with us for some time. It's been up and down for him. He's been through a whole lot. But what I admire about this young man is the fortitude and the resilience that he has shown over his time here with us. He refused to give up, absolutely refused. There were times when we couldn't reach him and he would reappear, and he always found his way back to us. I don't want to take his thunder, but I did want to acknowledge the young man that I have witnessed him grow into. And I'm looking forward to witnessing him grow into a young adult and what he will accomplish. So please join me in welcoming Dr. Kelly to the stage so she can introduce the phenomenon to the rest of you guys.
Giving praises to God, honor to all of our dignitaries and graduates here today. This is an honor and privilege to introduce our student speaker. This young man entered the Gateway to College program from New Haven Academy. I met him at New Haven Academy, and immediately I knew he was a perfect student for the Gateway to College program. From the moment he came to Gateway to College in 2019, I believe that the real strength came from his desire to possess a high school diploma. He recognized that a diploma was more than a piece of paper, but something he must earn. And he has taken the time to give real work and dignity to the high school diploma. In my judgment, Carlos is intelligent, open-minded, firmly committed to improving himself, making difficult decisions, and was ready to devote the time needed to fulfill his obligations here at Gateway to College. I wish I could find the words to thank Carlos for his extraordinary performance and academic achievement here this year. Congratulations to all of the graduates. I want to introduce to some and present to others our student speaker, Carlo Valente, class of 2021.
So, Carlos struggles a little bit with public speaking, and that's okay. So I'm gonna stand here with him, and I'm gonna start reading it. And if you feel comfortable, you jump right in, but these are Carlos's words, okay?
All right.
First, I'd like to thank Gateway Community College, the Gateway to College program, New Haven Public Schools, and GCC staff and faculty. In the spring of 2019, I was enrolled at New Haven Academy, where I spent 4 years prior to being accepted into the Gateway to College program. My experience at NHA was good, but it felt limited in what I could accomplish. This is no reflection on the staff at NHA, but it was more of a feeling that became a barrier for me in my academic success. With the help of my counselors, Ms. Bradley and Ms. Ortiz, I applied to GTC. I didn't have the credits that most applicants had. My attendance was terrible, and I was literally ready to give up on graduating. I felt lost in a system I didn't quite understand. The one thing I was certain of is that I had difficulty trusting, and this hadn't changed with my application to GTC. I was unsure and afraid that my experience would be the same at Gateway because I was still feeling the same. When I learned that I didn't meet the requirements for the program, I was disappointed. But I was also determined to showcase my desire to do things differently. I went into the interview feeling confident. Dr. Kelly was very sweet and reminded me of Miss Knox at NHA, with whom I share a real connection. But then I met Eric. He was wearing a business suit, he was carrying a briefcase, and suddenly I was terrified. I thought the director would be an upbeat, easygoing guy, but Eric was all business. If I had known this was in here. I thought to myself, this is not going to be a good interview. Mr. Morrell asked serious questions and he was looking for serious answers. He asked me to explain my feelings and my experiences. But it wasn't him just being nosy. He was just genuinely interested. I realized quickly that I had misjudged him when he told me flat out that meeting the requirements was less important than giving me an opportunity. He was willing to take a chance on me. I wish I could say that my whole experience at Gateway was positive, but I still have many struggles. I wasn't connected with my instructors, and I was having major challenges in my personal life that I was reluctant to share with anyone. I first trusted Donnell, who I shared something very personal with. To my surprise, he didn't judge me, but instead encouraged me. He helped me to realize that my experiences were normal for someone my age. I didn't feel so isolated, and this was the beginning of building trust with the GTC team. I spent a total of 4 semesters at Gateway. In that time, I had the full support of my family, but didn't always appreciate our differences in opinion. I loved my family very much, and they loved me, but I decided to leave home. My parents' door was always open to me, but I felt the need to do some things on my own. I worked for a while at a few different places and lost sight of my academic goals. I lived with my best friend's family, the Francos, and stopped attending school on a regular basis. I'm grateful for the Francos' support. They gave me some place to stay, safe. I wouldn't be here without them. But between my family and the GTC team, I never forgot that I had some place to go. They wouldn't let me forget. Robin spoke to my parents almost weekly. And if you know Robin, you know how relentless she can be. Marcial conducted home visits seeking me out. Dr. Kelly sent truancy and called my phone. And Eric refused to withdraw me from the program. I would call every once in a while to check in. They always had a new plan for me to graduate. Even in my absence, they were still working on my behalf. I just wasn't ready, but somehow this was okay. Eventually, I returned home and saw new value in my family's opinions. I reconnected with my academic goal, and I knew I had the support I'd need to accomplish it. It's been a challenging 4 semesters. Nothing about it was easy. But I've learned that I don't have to do it alone. None of us do. Our home lives are as different as we are. No 2 of us is the same. But one thing we have in common, we will always have a place to improve ourselves. We will always share connection and a new appreciation for education. And I feel confident in stating we will always be grateful for our families at home and our family at Gateway to College. Okay, now it's time for the presentation of candidates. We're not doing the traditional thing where students are coming up and grabbing their diploma. Robin, you're gonna hand them out? Robin will come around and hand them out to you as we call your name. And then Donnell Hilton will do a conferment of the diplomas and certificates. I'll do some closing remarks. And then we will bring the ceremony to a close. Okay? Mr. Devin Ballerino. Oh, I'm sorry, Nirvana Baker.
Woo!
Mr. Devin Ballerino. I'm sorry, work with me for a minute. There he is. All right. It's too late. Miss Ella Kazari. Cyan Clark. Woo! Mr. Shamar Kumar. Oh, you guys, if this was Instagram, y'all, your whole attitude would be different.
No, that's not Shamar.
Mr. Bryce Ferguson. Mr. Taekwon Ford. The Ms. Jayana Foster. Mr. Juvencio Gutierrez. Oh, wow. Ms. Elena Hogan Perez. Ms. Nazlet Irizarry. Ms. Myasia Lytell. Ms. Destiny McKenzie. Mr. Joshua McKnight. Ms. Adamaris Lopez. Mr. Charles Moore. Mr. Melvin Morrell. Mr. Pedro Ortega. Ms. Kennelly Patu Rodriguez. Mr. Quasi Walid Rahman. Mr. Jasir Ramsey. Mr. Willie Ray Rainwood. Ms. Avalea Rodriguez. I knew I was putting it anyway. Ms. Aaliyah Soto. Mr. Kajir Stanley. Mr. Nair Willoughby. And finally, Ms. Gianna Williams. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the graduating class of 2021. Please join me in giving the entire class a round of applause. I'm so sorry. My bad. He just left from up here. Mr. Carlos Valente. I messed up again. Ms. Kayla Zelaya. Okay, let's move this along. Donnell, come to the stage for confirming the diplomas, please.
So before I do the confirmation, I just want to congratulate you guys. You guys went through a lot this year. Pandemic devastated all of us. You guys have become powerful as a result of this. So please, just give yourself a round of applause, please. Also, I want to thank the mayor for a wonderful job he's done in this community. Also, New Haven Public Schools and Gateway Community College for offering the opportunity for you guys to get as traditional as an education as possible during this pandemic when most students were online. You guys have the opportunity to come on campus and still utilize the resources that are program as well. And I speak for all the resource specialists when I say it's been an honor serving you as your school counselors, your brothers, your sisters, your grandparents, and your parents at this time. We don't apologize for calling your house all the time and urging you to get up out of your bed and go to school. It's been a pleasure for us. And for parents, we really appreciate you being a part of the Gateway Community College and the Gateway to College team. I would like the graduates to rise for this part. Dr. Eileen Tracy and Dr. William Brown, it's our pleasure to present to you the class of 2021 for the Gateway to College program.
On behalf of the New Haven Board of Education, I accept the candidates of the class of 2021 for our Gateway to College program and confirm them on high school diploma with all its rank and privileges. Congratulations, graduates.
So I'm pretty sure that that's about it for all the pageantry. I'm certain that all of you guys will be turning up later somewhere. You're not tricking me for 1 second right now, especially you, Taekwondo. I know you got something. But once again, I just want to thank everybody for coming out. It is my honor and my privilege to serve this program in my current position. I'm hopeful that there will be some growth for this program in the near future, where we can engage more young people like yourselves who found themselves in one position. And then through commitment and engagement with our team, they were able to reposition themselves to a point where they're again interested in education and understand the worth of education and have experienced this sense of accomplishment that you guys are experiencing currently. So once again, I'd like to thank our esteemed guests for attending. Dr. Brown, did you want to say anything before we close?
What I miss?
Dr. Brown, Mayor Elliker, Dean Kaczynski, Ms. Patricia Melton, Ms. Tiffany Jackson, Dr. Kelly, Kermit, Carolina. I'd like to send a shout out to my moms. No, I'm just kidding. I want you guys to enjoy this day. Please be blessed in your travels, and we will see you in the fall.
Yes, we did. Oh my God, they were mad. Our husband died about a month ago. Yeah,
You know, I wasn't feeling that. I started laughing.
Parents?
I take
Listen, I can't run everything.
I know. I'm open. I'm so open. And you're looking good. I'm not y'all. It is so good. All right, good. I'm going to talk to you. You want to go to you can also do that. You know what they're doing that. Now I'm just that's the serious part. You got nothing to worry about. No.
Robin.
What is D2? Oh. Dr. Kelly.
You want a program?
Yeah. And give me one for Dr. Kelly. In the bathroom.
You and Dr. Trish ain't gonna be gangster with me.
Oh, yeah. Yes, 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 thank you.
Not now.
They come 11. Yeah. Oh, Chloe. How are you? You're pretty. I was just wondering. No, I'm not that far. She's that far. Okay, perfect. I didn't even get to go through.
Well,
That's why I wanted to go. It should have been. It should have been great. Yes. That's why. He didn't send it.
Next week has my assistant. I had one day for the grades. She completed my school, but she might be busy. So I cannot send it out because we don't know in which place she's going to be in by the time we get the transfer.
Yeah.
Well, that's is important. High school. High school. Or well, it's almost complicated because see what happens is she cannot get registered because she has the school says, okay, she's doing or she's already completed. So if you finish, you do